Hello my friends and welcome to this update video with a lot of meat and potatoes in it. So, for one, hope each and every one of you out there had a very Merry Christmas. And hope it was very very enjoyable for each and every one of you out there. Mine has been, around this time, I've been busy. This is pretty much a redo of an update video I did because I looked at the footage and there was nothing but the bottom of my my screen. Nothing was shown on my desktop. Just like just this. So I have to redo everything that I said I was going to do. Plus, on top of that, that last video, I had to make a break in it because nature called. So I'd rather just say, you know what? Let's just redo it. So, what I've been doing all this time. Well, mine... Hi, stomach. How you doing down there? You good? You good? Okay. What I've been doing all this time during, between Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, I've been doing a mishmash of things. For one, I was helping my brother cook, which was interesting because usually I'd be the one cooking. But since, this is the first time he was cooking on the stove, he wasn't sure how to operate everything, so I came out of my hole and just say, you know what? Why don't I help him? So what I did the entire time that he was in the middle of cooking and everything, I was the guinea pig, making sure, okay, whatever he was cooking, had to try it out, made sure, it was up to par with whatever he was using for seasoning and flavor and whatnot. Ham came out delicious. The greens, I'm surprised to say I actually had some greens. They were about the right size, the right kind of seasoning you want from your greens. They weren't as watery, but, they were good. Another thing that he did cook was he cooked the following: mac and cheese, greens, black eyed peas, ham. Excuse me. I'm not going to... Really? I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I had to mute this out. Oh no, you're going to hear whatever's going on in me, okay? I mean, if it has to come out, let it come out. Anyway, there was also some cake and banana pudding that he made. He made all this, and he just made it. He let me know. He said, "Bro, you are going to be honest with me." I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. If it tastes like shit, I will let you know. But if it tastes like something that will bring a tear to my eye, I will also let you know." The only thing I haven't tried yet is the cake and the banana pudding. My stomach is satisfied. For a time being, it is really satisfied. And for what it's worth, I'm glad it is satisfied for a long ass time. So the whole situation about him cooking was he was uncertain about his own skill being a cook. So I lent him a helping hand the entire time. So yesterday, or rather last night, when he finally got everything on the fire, I was going to ask him about the food. He was knocked out. So I just said, you know what, I'll use my own judgment. Greens were still cooking. So I stirred it a bit just to make sure they were still stirring. Same with the black eyed peas. I made sure, they went stiff and froze up, but I just stirred it just a tiny bit just to make sure they were quote unquote awake. As for the mac and cheese, the mac and cheese was bubbling over, so I turned off the oven, but I put it on low, but I turned it back on to low heat. Now, mind you, I was in the middle of pre-recording some stuff. I was pre-recording Yakuza 0. So, during the time, by the way, anything I put up now, it's gonna be for next couple of months. So, I already got something on the channel that's gonna be put up in a few weeks. 3 Let's Plays, but for the most part, I'm gonna have one done and have one follow that and the other follow that. So, back to what I did in the kitchen. I was basically making sure all the food was warm to a point in which, it wouldn't be cold or dry or anything like that. Because the last thing you want is dry food when it's all said and done. So, after I've done that, what I also did was, after that's said and done, I said, well, what else could I do? A few minutes later, my brother gets up. He was so worried. I said, I just kept that warm. I turned that down. And I made sure that the beans were still, flavorful. So basically what I did was kept stirring it. Just make sure. He was so relieved to know that I just did whatever little stuff I did, as the support. Because that's what I do. I support. If I'm not the one cooking, I'm the one supporting. So therefore, it's like, it'd be the opposite way. If I was the one cooking, he'd be the one supporting. So, we basically, work as a team. So that's how it works. So if you're hearing some stuff in the background that's going on, that's him basically trying to get the room to his liking. Which I've already checked in there. It is pretty nice. Let's see. What else did I do before I conked out to Dreamland for a few hours? Well, like I said, all I did was, previous to that, I went and test run a few games just to make sure they were working. And as you can see, again, behind the scenes stuff. I rarely do a behind the scenes video, so basically I was busy testing the stuff out. Some games I had to make sure run, and that's why I have them on my desktop, as you can see. So I'm going in alphabetical order. So when I checked through, as far as Steam goes, I checked Occupant's Trip, Undead and Undressed. It runs. Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, it runs. Dragon Quest Heroes, I've been doing this in pre-recording, it runs. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, it runs, and it works smoothly with my recorder here. Light Fairy Tale, I'm doing this as a blind run of Let's Play, therefore that's for next month. Light Fairy Tale episode 1, and there's episode 2. I don't know when Sekai Project will... Not Sekai Project. NecoWorks. I'm not sure when NecoWorks will have episode 2 out, but when it comes out, I plan on getting that for myself. Of course, like I said, that runs as well. New Gundam Breaker. I actually downloaded this a few days back. Test ran it for a bit just to see if it runs, and it does. Knights of Azure. I've test ran this last night. It runs smoothly, and Ryu also had a post on Steam as far as the controls are concerned, and I went through them by the letter, and let me just say, Ryu, thanks a lot. That helps. Also, on top of that, the fellows at RCO Industries have sent me a couple of games. One of them didn't run the way I wanted to run because of one reason, and that's because of the control. The control scheme is totally weird. I'm talking about Hello Kitty and Friends Sanrio Racing. There is no reason why I had it on my wish list. I don't even know the reason why I had it on my wish list. I'm weird like that sometimes. Because I thought, oh, well, you know what, I have this game, why don't I try it? And the funny thing I figured out, I read up on this, was the controls are awfully jank. I mean, for Xbox One or 360 controllers, they are really jank. I mean, in the setup, it's really, really jank. It's like, I'm trying to get all the controls set to where's my accelerator button, where's my brake button, my jump button, my controls and all set up. It's like 1, 2, 3. I'm like, wait, what's 1, 2, 3? What the fuck? Like I said, the controls were like really, 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 really jank. Couldn't get it to work. Couldn't possibly even... I mean, I could run the game, but as far as trying to move it up and down, I couldn't get that to run. For the life of me, couldn't get it to run the way I wanted to run because of the controls. So that only means one thing. It's unplayable and too big. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you something off your wish list. And, go from there. I mean, I did it before. It's like, I bought a game off his wish list. And I've never tried it yet, and it's based off an old anime. And I believe it's called The Lost Cities of Gold. And I said, you know what? I'm interested. Let me buy that off his list. And I actually did. So, another game, I actually got 3 games because of, again, RCO Industries. So, the fellas, Ryu and 40, they sent me this Shenmue trilogy. The Shenmue trilogy basically is 1, 2 on one game, and then there's 3 on the other game. So, because of what I'm working on right now in my pre-recording session, it's going up, the rest of it is going up in, say, really, Sonic? Okay. It's going up in a few weeks. And that's Yakuza 0, like I said. So, I got the Shenmue trilogy as a Christmas gift. I'm like, wow. Because that's one of the games that basically I never owned when I had Dreamcast. Because, not just because I wasn't interested, but in where I am, we don't have, a good selection of games. Especially where my setup was like, we have Toys R Us, we have KB toy stores, but they didn't have like the good games. They only had anything from standard to mediocre. 1 moment, please. What was I saying? Testing, right. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of testing as of late. Just to make sure all of my Steam games, or at least most of them, run the way they're supposed to. I mean, people send me games almost all the time more than I buy them. So, therefore, that goes without saying, when I have a free moment to buy them, when a sale's going on, I try to buy as much as I can for as little as possible. Makes sense that way, plus it doesn't make me feel like a jerk because I don't buy my own games. I rarely buy myself games. That's the whole thing. Some games, I do it just so they get noticed. So some games, when they get noticed, it's a good thing. Because I want the games that I do to get noticed. It makes me feel good that, the lesser known games are getting that kind of love. That's the reason why my channel is basically attuned to games that fall under the radar or underrated games. And games that have a little bit of cult following, I have a special place for them called the Chest of Obscurity. And for games that just don't seem to handle well, or they just make me feel cringy and what used to be called shitastic games will now be called the Dip. And I have one for April that I did a few days back. And I can't understand why I bought it. But I bought it. I had to try it. And it was a weird ass fighting game. So, what was I mentioning before? Shenmue. Shenmue 1 and 2, Ryu bought for me. Shenmue 3 was what 40 bought me. So, with all this time that I have, I am definitely going to do them. I was mentioning the Christmas dinner we had. And apparently that's what was coming up. Since I had a pleasant helping of said food. I had it earlier It's been in me and with me and out me ever since then. Not to mention the fact that, you know, me taking medicine, well, you know, it helps everything come out a little bit smoother. And mind you, the medicine I take is for my heart. 2018. Since then, I had to do it. And thankfully, I'm so glad I was taking off 7 medications. And all the medications that I had to keep, 1. That's right, just 1. And it is for my heart, and I have to take it twice a day. So what does that mean for me? Well, that doesn't mean much because I have to pick up my own medicine. And I mean, thankfully, it's where I go. You know, they just want my name and my birthday. I pick it up and go. I don't have to pay anything for it. So, like I mentioned previously, everything I've been working on, all in pre-record. So when are they coming out? Well, what I'm already working on for January, I have Yakuza 0. I've already finished Digimon Adventure right before Christmas. And I had, you know, and I was doing the digital dungeon to where, you know, I basically just shared my thoughts about little things that I really wanted to talk about, but you know, it's like these dungeons are like 20 minutes long. And all I'm doing is just running through them. I'm not fighting any Digimon. I'm just running through them. Because I'm at max level. Why the fuck do I need to fight anything if I'm at max level? All I need to do is fight the boss of the dungeon and get out of there. So, I finished Digimon Adventure. It's already up on the channel. Part of it is, you know, this month, and other part of it is next month. So you'll see that, you'll see Dragon Quest Heroes, and you'll see Light Fairy Tail Episode 1. All, and Yakuza 0, all in that month. Because I always need to, you know, make room for everything else. I also have in backlog Sakura Wars, nearly in completion where I am, and that is episode 7, or chapter 7, take your pick. So I'm nearly done with it. Excuse me. I've already mentioned this, but like I said, since this is a redo of the update video I was already working on, my next PS4 LP after Sakura Wars is going to be Ni no Kuni. And then after Ni no Kuni, like I said, after Ni no Kuni, I'm going back to finishing Ys 8 once I'm done with that. My next project following that will be Fazanadu. So hopefully I get into the Xanadu series by playing Xanadu, Next, and Tokyo. So I mean, it's a weird batch of something, but you know, it's a challenge I I want to undertake by myself. So for the most part, it's going to be a pretty busy couple of months for me. Which now I have the time. Because like I said, I'm readjusting again to a whole new situation. To which, for a time, it'll be my brother and my nephew living here. My brother's staying full time. Nephew's not. My nephew is the same as me. He stays in his hole, for the most part, talking to his friends, like I do. He plays games, just like I do. I mean, he's cool, you know, quiet. Stays where he is, you know. Got a good head on his shoulders. College kid. Maintains good grades and all that, so, you know, it's cool. My brother says he's going to help with everything that's needing help. So I said, okay, wonderful. So that means I gotta check on my end about my case, me being disabled and all that. I want to check and, you know, if need be, have to explain everything. And I may need some help on this one. Not sure, but that's one. If that's the case, yeah. But like I said, I'm going to attempt to do it myself. As well as my voice overwork that I've been doing. I demand to get some work. I demand to make some kind of capital off this. That's what I want. I want to make some capital off this. I don't care if it's 500, 5,000, 50,000, whatever. But I want to make something. I want to make something off my efforts. I mean, it has to be a fruit in some way, right? I mean, it's not just, oh, Melissa, no. It's just something past that, you know. I mean, you know, we joke about that, but, you know, it's like, well, what I do, the projects that I do, you know, it's, you know, money. And the way voiceover actually works is if they like you, you're in. If they don't like you, you're out. And the only thing I would like to do is, you know, bear fruit with what I've been putting in. I've been putting in so much effort. It's just, well, what more can I do? I can't do much else than I can do other than what I've been doing. And, you know, I understand that we're still living under a pandemic to which, you know, it makes things a whole lot more difficult than normal. So we're under time. We're under the thumb of time to where basically everything is almost to a crawl to where everything has stopped. And even our own system is messed up because there's a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen in the next couple of months following the end of 20XX. I mean, we got 20XT1 to worry about. So that's another thing. It's like, what's going to happen within the next couple months coming in. We don't know. Nobody knows. So we have to learn how to adapt in this quote-unquote new hazardous world. It's not dangerous, just very hazardous, because this pretty much is a test of how long we have to put up with this. It is what it is, but you know, live alone and like it, as an old song says, you know. Just don't come out of that tree. Or, you know, however it works for you, you know, that sort of thing. Before I continue with what I've been working on, let me just say, one of our boys, the 40 Warrior, he had himself a COVID scare, and he made it out. He made it out with flying colors. He's safe. He's still among us. And I, for one, I'm glad. I'm really glad. Because, truth be told, he's the snark of the East. I'm the snark of the West. That would not be cool if the snark of the East just basically just up and died on us. That'd just be fucked up on so many levels. Just wanted to say, man, we are so glad that you made it through that shit, because, man, that just wouldn't be kosher for any of us to deal with if one of our own was like kicked just like that. But hey, he's a tough son of a bitch, so that asshole ain't going down that hard. You gotta knock him down really hard to actually kill his ass, but shit. Resiliency, man, is a hell of a drug. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled update of what's been happening on here. So as I stated before, I got a couple of games in backlog that I've personally been working on. Another game that I've been working on, Knights of Azure. This Ryu actually helped with this because he made a post on Steam about the controller setup. I went by said post and went through, and I basically went through the level with that one. It works. Another game that I was sent some months back is New Gundam Breaker, a game that I played on my PS4 and made a review of, because for some strange reason, with Gundam you really couldn't record anything off it. It's like, I tried doing it with other Gundam games on PS4. Couldn't do it with Gundam Versus. Don't know why, but you can do it. I mean, I understand the music, but, you know, the music and gameplay, that just don't make sense. Unless, you know, Namco Bandai prohibits anybody else to be doing something like that. It's understandable, weird, but understandable. But then again, I'm just a Let's Player. I just play the games I like doing, be they requested or no. I have personal policy. Oh, hi, 2 a.m. Mail. How's it going? So, yeah. Let's see. One-chan bara Zeto Chaos. That runs, and I had it for 360, I think. Sorry, 360 or PS4. I think it was 360 and or PS4. I forget which one. I played through it on my own time. Not the Steam version. That's something I'm definitely going to be doing for February. Along with River City Girls, which I already have part of up for February. Secret of Mana, the remake. That's all I gotta say. No, seriously. The music is just... I mean, I can care less what people say about the game. As if you don't like the classic or the new face they put onto the remake of Secret of Mana, something's wrong with you. It's the same thing about the music. You can listen to music, but, you know, it's everything your taste may vary with the music. That's fine. But if for some reason you don't like the new version over the original version, you know, that's you again. Taste may vary. So, I don't know when I'm going to do Secret of Mana, the remake. But it's definitely sometime in 20XT1 that I will do the Secret of Mana remake. I also have Strider. Like I said, a lot of these games I've been testing just to see if they run, and they do. So Strider runs, which is also a remake of Strider of the classic, or probably a retelling of the game. I think it's more of a retelling than a remake. So I see myself doing the remake fairly soon. I haven't tried testing Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I see myself doing a test run of a lot of games, just to see if they actually run. Because I tried it before on my old rig, and my old rig was like dying. I could tell my old rig was dying because it kept cutting itself out. So that was a sign. That was a clear-cut sign that I need to get a new computer. I didn't really care if it was put together or otherwise. I just needed to get a new computer as soon as possible. Tales of Symphonia, I have no problem with that. So, since I'm going to be finishing that soon, all I pretty much see myself doing is find my own walkthrough, bloop, pull it up, and basically hop on my old save file and just go from there. Most likely it was the end of disc 1 I was finished with, and I was going into disc 2. So, yeah, there you go. And mind you, this version of Tales of Symphonia is the PS3 version. So it's not the GameCube version, it's the PS3 version. Because the password was totally different. So that's how you could tell there was a difference. Henry Stickmin, we all know when that one's going up. I pretty much see myself doing it for April. April's my month, so I usually do something weird. Something weird, something interesting, and something, I don't know, something in between all that. So, it goes without saying that I've been keeping myself very busy. Yakuza 0, I am currently at chapter 11 out of 17. So, I'm going to be working on those right after I'm done with this update video. Got a few parts I need to slap up together. Of course, I don't see myself uploading them right after I'm done with them, but possibly in a few days' time I will be uploading them as soon as I'm done in the pre-recording. As for emulators, what I have highlighted is my PS2 emulator. Now, those who remember, I did a test LP of Beautiful Joe just to see if basically everything was up to snuff with this emulator. Apparently it is, and it sounded wonderful. It was basically it was just wonderful. So let's check what I have in here. What I have, what I did in the meantime was I restarted playing Artanelico on my own time, just to basically play up to where I stopped on the LP. And once I get there, I'm pretty much going to pick up right on that part in the LP. It's just going to sound a lot more different. Yes. I also have Blood Will Tell, which is based off of Dororo, the classic Tezuka manga. I have Devil May Cry 1 through 3. This guy, Our Darkness and Cursed Memories, that's 1 and 2. Drakengard, The Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, basically playing up to where I stopped in the LP as well. Musashi Samurai Legend. It's the sequel to Brave Fencer Musashi. I'm not sure if I want to do Brave Fencer Musashi. I might consider it. And I might do Musashi Samurai Legend following that one. Namco Cross Capcom. This is English patch. Runs and works like a dream. Nightshade, which in Japanese is Kunoichi, which is the sequel to Shinobi for the PS2. Punisher is also another game that I've been playing off camera as a means to play catch up to the original LP. So I basically stopped where I last left off in the original LP. Again, it's going to sound different because it's just like a breath of fresh air. Robot Alchemic Drive. Mind you, there's a little bit of slowdown, but not as bad as like on my old rig. My old rig was like, this one's more up to speed. Rad Robot Alchemic Drive. That's also going to be on the 20 XD6 LP line. Probably 20 XD2 as well. Rogue Galaxy. Yes, this is one of my favorite games in my personal library of PS2 games. Also have it for PS4. So I'm not sure if I want to do the original or the PS4 one. Rumble Roses. Definitely a catch-up. Because I only, like, say, maybe got 3 parts up on the channel. I had to check in backlog. Rygar, the Legendary Adventure, different from the old version of Rygar on the NES. I plan on doing that sometime in the near future. Don't know when, though. Shining Tears. Oh, this one is very interesting because for Shining Tears, I originally was in the middle of recording this, but I never put it up because as much as I was trying, I got to a point in which basically I kept getting killed, and I don't know, after that I just said no. And I never put And I never put the LP up. Yeah, I believe I never put the LP up. So, therefore, it's gonna be a lost LP of sorts. Shinobi. Shinobi is basically the remake of... Well, it's not really a remake, but it's the continuing story of Shinobi. Just a different Shinobi, but it's not like Joe Musashi. Super Robot Tyson Original Generation is basically 1 and 2 put together with added story. I've been looking for codes to say at least a money code, if not a defense code or something like that, or a defense evasion code, but at least a money code, just for the sole sake of me just maxing everything out and just tearing ass up from there. I mean, I might consider doing it as an LP, but like I said, not sure. Tales of Legendia, as well as Tales of the Abyss. Let me just say, it'll be a treat actually coming back to a PS2 Tales game. I also need to finish off Vesperia on the PS4. I haven't forgotten, I've just been very busy with other projects. Zone of the Enders. Let me just do this real quick, like so. Bip, and poof. There you go. Zone of the Enders, I have this. I see myself doing it sometime in March and have it up by March. Don't know when, but I pretty much see myself in between doing parts for Dragon Quest Heroes, Yakuza 0, and Light, Fairy Tail, and River City Girls, all in that one little window of time that I have set for myself. Not to mention the fact that there are other games that I have on hand that I plan to do. I also forgot to mention that in the original update that I had, that Ryu also sent me another game. But it's another fan translation. It's Super Robot Tyson EX, which is basically off the original generation timeline. And, you know, it's where pretty much where you see characters like Beyond Zoldark, Masaki Endo, Shu Shirakawa, Ryun Zoldark, and the like. Those from original generation, and Muscle Kitchen, they are also in that timeline. So I see myself doing that a little after I play catch up with Muscle Kitchen, which I have to basically play up to where I last left off. That means I gotta play the whole game over. I mean, the sad thing is this. If I were to look in it... See, I have the old saves. And mind you, these are really all my old saves from this. Just this. And if I can basically play off this, I'm good. I'm glad I finished Fate of the Emblem of Justice and GOD. Because I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? But as you can see, this is proof that I just finished these two. We're not gonna look at JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That game was totally weird on so many levels. Princess Minerva, I plan to get back to finishing, but I would have to play through it again. Let's see. I've checked my other emulators to see if most of the games I have are set up, and you know they still have my original save, so I can basically pick up on them whenever I wish to have time to pick them up again. Citra. For those who don't know what Citra is a 3DS emulator in which I plan to do sometime next year in 20 XD1. I have to remember saying that 20 XD1. Or 21. Everything, like I said, from here and everything else, Dolphin is running. Dolphin is a major go. The only problem is with what I have. I would love to do a Mario game, but the problem is Nintendo. Nintendo aren't really kind to us LPers, because if we do a Mario game, copyright claims, which makes no damn sense. We as LPers, we don't want your damn money. And for those who do it for money, you do you, but for people like me, I just want to play the game. I just want to share what I love to the rest of the 1% sane world. If not the 99%, I'll take the 2% of the same people who like to see gameplay, let's plays, that sort of thing. That's all. That's all. So what I have for this is Biting Kaito's Eternal Wings, Origins, Evolution Worlds, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Like I said, I pretty much see myself trying to do that. All things considering, because I did have a copy of it. I do have a copy of it, I should say. I just have not been playing it. But, you know, I pretty much haven't been playing it right, I should say. But the way I have it set up, on how I want to do a proper Pokemon OP, well, I would go to the original Pokemon anime and do it the proper way. Groove Adventure Rave, otherwise known as Rave Master over here in the States. I made a video of it, I just never put it up. I should really do that. Skies of Arcadia. That's a definite go on 20 XD1. Sometime. I don't know when, but that is a definite go. And WWE Crush Hour, that's one for the chest of obscurity. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because it's, like I said, it's just a wrestling game. I mean, it's not a wrestling game, but it's a racing game. But has the roster from the WWE during that time. A better roster than what we got now. That is without saying. But for the most part, like I said, I've checked everything since the move from my old rig to the new one. I'm not entirely certain about PSX, but I'm pretty sure what I still got going, it's still there. Oh, wrong. What I have in PSX is the following: 70s Robot Anime, Geppy X, the Arc the Lab collection with Arc the Lab 1 and 2, Beyond the Beyond, Brave Fence Musashi, Brave Prove. I'm sorry, Deluxe. Front Mission 2. I plan on doing that with cheats, of course. If not on this version, probably on my other PS1 emulator. Hoshigami Running Blue Earth. Langrisser 4. I have Langrisser 1 and 2. The only ones I can possibly get as far as English translations is just Langrisser 4. Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Unworking Designs version. There's a difference between the version I have and the versions you see here. As you see, this version is basically all three of the games. Well, all three discs. Just like with Vi, they're not done the same way as you would see in the Working Designs version. Just, it's basically the Japanese version. So when it says unworking designs, that's what it means. I have Police Notes, English patched. Super Robot Tyson, Alpha Gaiden, English translation. Super Tokusatsu Tyson 2001. I wish there was a translation for that. Toe Ball number 2, English translation. Wild Arms 2, this 1 and 2. Xenogears 2 CDs, undubbed, and of course the original Xenogears. So I see myself doing the undubbed version of Xenogears, and what I may do is just redo it from scratch, and to the point where I basically stopped at is where I'm just going. From the point I stopped, it's going to be Let's Play. But the point I basically start at, like I said, I'm going to start the LP over, call it a replay. But until I get to the point that I stopped at, it'll be Let's Play from then on. I think it would have served better if it was just one disc. It's like, it didn't need no 2 discs. But, you know, personal preference. I mean, a game like that, it was so good, but it really didn't need a second disc. I mean, the second disc was basically just for exposition. But I think for the most part, that's what I got going for me as far as PS is concerned. The PlayStation 1 and 2 are concerned, as well as what I got on Steam. Everything else regarding like Sega Genesis and all that, Super Nintendo, as well as TurboGrafx 16, MAME, it's all good. As well as the DS, because if we check the DS, we have the following for the DS. I got 2 versions, so the Win 64 and the Win 36, the Win 32. So what we got in here, we have the ROMs here, because all my ROMs are in the 32, and they are the following: Dungeon of Windari English patch, Kirby Superstar Ultra, Kamen Rider Dragonite, Ace Attorney Investigation, Miles Edgeworth 1 and 2. This is 2 right here, English translation. Apollo Justice, Blue Dragon Plus, Chrono Trigger DS. I see myself doing that as a replay of sorts. Family Feud 2010 edition, Gloria Heracles, Inuyasha, Secret of the Divine Jewel, Jump Ultimate Stars, Black Butler, The Legendary Starfy, Endless Frontier Exceed, Puka Power Up, Soloto Robo Red the Hunter, Tales of Innocence, Tales of Tempest, Thundercats, The World Ends With You. I don't know why my girlfriend sent me Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. It's patched, but still. I really don't know. Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, I really don't know why she sent me this. I love you, dear, but really, I don't know about that. I don't know about Legend of Zelda. I'm not a Zelda player. Okaide, Chibi Robo, Happy Beach Usugi. Osuji. Rockman EXE Operation Shooting Star, or Yusei Rockman. And again, Spirit Tracks. I don't see myself doing any Zelda game because, like I said, Nintendo. I'm very leery of Nintendo as far as that's concerned. I mean, what they've been doing is, it's kind of like it's very but I think for everything else, and I plan to do a TurboGrafx 16 game because of what I have. These two games right here, Newtopia and Newtopia 2, these play more like Zelda, but with better controls. So if I do Zelda, this is the version of Zelda I'm going to do, which is basically Hudson Soft. The Hudson Soft version of Zelda, just like East of Eden Zero is like Avatar: The Last Airbender in a way. But for the most part, as you can tell, my plans for 20XD1. Yes, my plans for 20XD1 is to get as much as I can within pre-recording. And of course, get myself a break in between all this madness. Because I know it'll be worth it in the long run. So, yeah, that's what's been going on behind the scenes of my channel. Then with life and all that. Everything that has been going on. I hope everyone has had a wonderful, excellent, peaceful Christmas, and in the long run, have a blessed and safe and prosperous new year. I mean, we're all in this together. The only thing we gotta do is we gotta make it to the end of the battle. And it's just a test of our sanity and how long we can keep it. So with that said, my good people, I have been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi. And whatever next project I plan to do, you'll most likely see it in January and beyond that. So I hope to see you around, new people and old. If you like what you see and see what you like, please subscribe to my channel. If you follow me, if you have Facebook or Twitter, follow me on that. My handle is that of PookieIzzy7. And yeah, follow me on YouTube, hashtag PookieIzzy7. Like I said, subscribe if you find anything to your liking. I am always grateful for every single bit of support I get, because you subscribers, you're worth it. You people out there who join this channel, it is worth creating brand new content and brand new content, as well as some brand new old content and those in between. It's all worth it. So, to you guys, want to thank you all for being here in the long run with me. Because I've been through a lot of shit. And for everything that I'm doing, it's gonna pay off. I just want to make sure that it pays off. So, if I don't see you next time, I do stream on Twitch, and I might do it on YouTube. I don't know which is better or which is worse, but I do stream every Wednesday. So hop on by my channel, whether I'm on Twitch or YouTube. Say hello. And if you feel the need to subscribe, go right ahead. Be glad you did. So that's it. Much longer than the original update video, with a lot more meat and potatoes and mac and cheese. So with that, I wish you all a very happy new year. May you all be safe, prosperous, and most importantly, alive. And with that, the Tenkaichi has spoken. I am out. And Senpai's blessings be upon each and every one of you. And may the hand of God cover us all. And with that, I will see you in the future. Dai Tenso. Sayonara. See you next game. And have a happy new year. Thank you. And good night.